So we'll start seated in a comfortable position that works for you. That could be cross legs, or it can be the knees down on the ground with the shin bones tucked underneath you, your sit bones lifted up. So really just make yourself comfortable and figure that out now so that at the end, when we're doing our seated breath work, you already know where you're going to go and have any props that you may need. Or even use a chair, like you can totally use a chair for any type of pranayama practice that you do. You want to really be able to concentrate on that versus having your body distract you from the practice. So you can go ahead and let your eyes close down once you're settled. And just notice, you know, what happens when you close your eyes. What kind of day have you had? And usually that internal environment will let you know. There could be a lot of kind of pinging behind the eyes that happens, or an awareness of excess movement inside the body. Or it could be the very opposite. You know, it could be that as you close your eyes, it's almost as if you're ready to kind of fall asleep. You know, whatever experience you have is only there to tell you about what's happening. There's not really a right or wrong. There's simply a knowing yourself in another way. So let's transition into sensing the breath. And you can engage the ujjayi breath so that you have a little constriction in the back of the throat, and it helps you to elongate your inhale and exhale over the next 2 or 3 breaths. And then I'd like you to take awareness to your spine and notice the really subtle movement of your spine as you breathe in and as you breathe out. So when breath comes in, the lungs expand, the rib cage expands. There's a little subtle movement in the middle of your back. And then I'll encourage you on the exhale to subtly and softly draw the navel towards the spine and feel how the lumbar spine or the lower back gets a little bit longer on the exhale. So just let your awareness move from inhalation and subtle sensation in the middle of your back and exhalation with subtle sensation in your lower back. Now we're going to be just a little bit more specific about inhalation and exhalation. I'd like you to feel as you inhale that your chest expands on the inhalation. So you can kind of accentuate that. As you breathe in, your chest expands, your rib cage slightly expands as well. Just feel that happening in the front of your body. And then relaxing that action on the exhale. And then shift your awareness to your exhalation, and let's intentionally do some contraction on the exhale. So when you begin your next exhale, I'd like you to contract very subtly from the top of your pubic bone towards your navel. So it's as if you're kind of lifting the pubic bone upwards towards the navel. And then you release it on the inhale. So go back and forth. As you inhale, feel your chest expand, your rib cage expand, the middle of your back lengthen. As you exhale, contract from the top of your pubic bone to your navel and feel your lumbar spine lengthen. So just feel those two separate actions. And then over the next few breaths, we're going to work to begin to extend the spine. So we're going to try to take out some of the curves that are naturally in the spine. So we'll inhale and feel the chest expand, feel the rib cage expand, lengthening through the middle of the back. And I'll have you kind of hold that as you exhale and contract from your pubic bone to your navel and just feel the lumbar spine lengthen. And so you'll just continue. Inhale, maybe there's a little bit more lift through the middle of the back. And then as you exhale, contract again from pubic bone to navel and feel the lumbar spine lengthening. So it's as if your spine is getting longer because you're decreasing the curvature in the spine. Just extending it. Relax the effort. Let yourself kind of wiggle around maybe just a little bit. Yeah. And then eyes can open back up into the room, and I'm going to have you go ahead and come down onto your back. So it'd be lying down on your back, and we're going to do some arm raises in this position. So tonight's going to include a little bit of bilateral movement and then symmetrical movement, helping to kind of capture the focus of the mind. And you'll see it repeat throughout the practice. So getting comfortable on your back, finding the position that works for you. Legs are going to be extended. I'll have you take a breath in and a breath out. And then on your next inhalation, you're going to raise your right arm up while simultaneously flexing your left foot. The back of your right hand will come up over the head and you'll touch the floor behind you. And then as you exhale, lower the right arm and relax the left foot. And we're going to repeat that with the second side. So you'll inhale, raise your left arm up and simultaneously flex your right foot. And then as you exhale, you'll lower the left arm and slowly release the action in the right foot. We're going to repeat it one more time on the right side. Inhale, right arm, left foot. And exhale, lower the right arm, relax the left foot. Really try to link your breath to your movement, moving slowly with your breath. Inhale the left arm, flexing the right foot. And exhale, lower the arm, relax the foot. So on the next one, we're going to do both arms up and flex both feet. So inhale, flex both feet, raise both arms up and over your head. Kind of feel the length of your spine increase there. And then exhale, lower the arms and relax the feet. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, raise the arms, flex the feet. Really push out through both inner heels and stretch up through the hands, the arms. And then exhale, lower the arms, relax the feet. Take 1 more on your own with your own breath, just breathing in. And as you exhale, lowering the arms and relaxing the feet. And I'll have you just pause here for just a moment, always checking in for that subtle sensation that happens from gentle movements, helping you to tune into what's happening in your body. And then from there, you can bend your knees and we'll roll through the side and come into a kneeling position. So we're standing on the knees. If you need any support, or not support, but if you need any cushion for your knee, you can take your blanket and just bring it into the center of your mat for a little cushion. Yeah. So we'll be doing that same pattern using one arm and then moving into symmetry towards the end. So let's take the left hand and just tuck the left hand into the low back. The palm faces whatever's behind you. And then on the inhalation, we're going to raise the right arm up. Now as you exhale, you're going to sweep your right arm behind you and you're going to rotate your right ear down towards the ground. And then on the inhalation, the left arm will sweep out and will come all the way back up into the kneeling position. And then we'll repeat. Exhale, sweeping the left arm behind you, rotating your left ear down towards the ground. And then the second side, right arm, inhale to come back up. If the head doesn't meet the ground, you can use a blanket or a block. Exhale, sweep your right arm behind you and rotate your right ear down towards the ground. And then left arm, inhale, rising up. Good. And exhale, left hand into the lower back, left ear down towards the ground. On the next one, we'll sweep both arms out and up. So inhale, both arms reach out and up. And exhale, sweep both arms behind you and bring the forehead this time down towards the ground. And we'll take 2 more like that. Inhale, feel your chest expand, your arms reach out, your rib cage lift. Exhale, contract gently from your pubic bone to your navel. Feel your lower back round, the middle of your back, as you bring the forehead all the way down. And we'll take 1 more. Inhale, chest expands, rib cage lifts, middle of the back lengthens. And exhale, contracting gently from your pubic bone to your navel, rounding and coming all the way down into your child's pose position. You can stay down here. And if you'd like, just extend your arms out in front of you. And let's take just 2 to 3 breaths here in this position. And again, simply notice. Turn your attention inward to hearing the sound of your breath and feeling the subtle sensation that breath creates in the physical body. And then we're going to move through a downward facing dog to come up to standing. So on your next inhalation, I'll have you come into a hands and knees position. And then as you exhale, you can tuck your toes and just lift your hips up. And you'll either walk your hands towards your feet or your feet towards your hands as we come on up into a standing position. Good. So here, Mary, is where I want you to engage the quadriceps a little bit, have a slight bend in your knees to do these heel lifts and arm raises. So our feet are hips width distance. And on the inhalation, we're just raising to the balls of our feet and raising our arms up overhead. And then on our exhalation, we're just lowering back down. We'll have a moment where we actually stay up in the balancing position. And we're going to try to work that same extension that we did when we were seated. So as we're breathing in, we're expanding chest, filling the middle of the back. We're holding that, exhaling and contracting from the pubic bone to navel. So everybody take a breath in with no movement. Feel your feet grounded, and a breath out. And then on your next inhalation, with a slight bend in your knees, you're going to raise your arms forward and up. Lift to the balls of your feet. And as you exhale, contract gently. Pull the navel in as you lower the heels and lower the arms. And just link your breath to your movement. We're going to do it again. Inhale, raise to the balls of your feet while simultaneously raising your arms. Feel your rib cage lift as that happens. Exhale, gently pull the navel in as you lower your arms and lower your heels. We'll take one more like that. Inhale. Just really feel your whole body kind of working together. You're not working excessively hard in any one place. Now on the next one, we're going to stay up and we're going to interlace the fingers. So we'll inhale up to the balls of the feet. I'm going to have you interlace your fingers and press up through the heels of your hands. And we're going to start to work the extension. So in your next inhalation, really feel your chest expand, your rib cage lift. Hold that. As you exhale, contract from your pubic bone to your navel and feel your lower back lengthen. And just work these two aspects of breath in relationship to extending the spine. So keeping your face soft, your jaw soft, trying not to tense in the external edges of your neck, but letting that part of the neck kind of soften down into the shoulders. We'll take one more breath, really lengthen through the middle of the back, press up to the heels of the hands, and then you can release to interlace the fingers, and slowly exhale, lower the heels, lower the arms, pause and feel sensation. Good. I notice it all the way down my neck into my arms. Yeah, tingling, right? That sensation is telling you something, right? That sensation is bringing awareness to this particular moment. But if we can pick up on these things outside of this particular moment, it helps us to understand what's happening inside of ourselves more regularly. All right. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to do some halfway forward bending. Again, we're still looking at lengthening the spine, and we're going to work one arm at a time. So at any point in time, if it feels like it's too much when we have both arms extended, you'll go back to either arms reaching out wide, or you'll go back to having just one arm extend, and we'll build up into the both arms. So just check it out and see what happens in your back. And when we're doing it, make sure that you're really engaging that exhalation. The exhalation is what will give you the stability to hold yourself in a halfway forward bend. So engaging from the pubic bone to the navel here. So we'll again tuck the left hand into the lower back. And on an inhalation, we're going to raise the right arm up. Now as you exhale, slight bend in your knees, contracting from your pubic bone to your navel, bring your spine parallel to the ground. Long, slow exhale. And then let's inhale, come back up to stand. We're going to add in just a little bit of head neck rotation. How do you sweep your right arm behind you and rotate your head to the left? Really work the muscles in the neck. And then on the inhalation, let's take the left arm, reach the left arm up, head turns to center. Contract gently from pubic bone to navel and come into the forward bend, a slight bend in your knee. And then inhale and feel your chest lifting first as you come all the way back up. And then exhale, sweep your left hand behind you, rotate your head to the right. And then we'll switch sides. Head comes center, inhale, right arm reaches up. And exhale, contract from the pubic bone to the navel, bring your spine parallel to the ground. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, sweep the right arm behind, rotate your head to the left. And then inhale, take your left arm, reach your left arm up. Exhale, slight bend in the knees, contracting from pubic bone to the navel, halfway forward bend. And then inhale and rise back up. Exhale, sweep your left hand behind you. This time, we're going to take both arms up and then both arms out to the side. So we'll inhale, raise both arms up. Slight bend in your knees. Exhale, just reach your arms wide as you come into a halfway forward bend. And then inhale, rise back up. Arms reach up with you. And we'll do that one again. Exhale, contracting pubic bone to navel, arms reaching out wide. And then inhale, come all the way back up. This time we're going for the full one. As you exhale, keep your arms alongside your ears and exhale into the halfway forward bend. Notice how you really have to work a little bit harder. Inhale to come back up. And we're going to repeat that one again. Exhale into the halfway forward bend, and I'm going to have you stay. So on the inhalation, feel your chest lift as you push out a little bit more through your fingers, and then exhale, contract from the pubic bone to the navel. Stabilize. We're just lengthening, extending the spine here. If at any point in time it feels like it's too much, you can always sweep your arms back out to the side, and you'll notice that you take a lot of the work out of the pose. Just one more breath. The chest is expanding, the middle of the back is lengthening, and then on the exhalation, let's fold all the way down into a forward bend. And we're going to stay here and just relax and breathe. So you can clasp on to the elbows here, the backs of the hands if they come down to the ground, touch the ground. You could also use blocks if you needed to, slight bend in the knees. And then just notice your breath. Lean into the sensation of your breath. See if you can allow your body to slightly and subtly move with each inhale and each exhale. And then on our next inhalation, we'll come back up to stand. I always like to reach my arms out and up. And then as we exhale, just lower the arms down by your side. And again, simply pause. Even close the eyes. You get dizzy? Yeah. Good. Nice. So from there, I'll have you step your feet wide. We're going to take a wide-angled twisting position. I'm going to demo it first, Mary, because this is the one that you were actually asking about last time. And so because we're working on extension, we're going to have a little bit of extension within this rotation in our spine. So what we're going to do here is we're going to spiral into one side. That'll be an exhalation. On the inhalation, I'm going to have you sweep the top arm forward so that you get one line from the hip all the way out to the fingers, and then we'll complete it with another exhale and rotate deeper into the rotation. So I can come all the way down, but no, but you don't have to. You can have a block in front of each foot, and that really gives you a little bit more space to work with the rotation. You know, so even if you can come all the way down, try it both ways and notice, where can I breathe more freely in this position? Because this one can get kind of tight in the chest and the rib cage as you rotate around, okay? So feet will start hips width distance. I'll wait for you, Mary, to get set back up. Yeah, good. And we're going to be going to the right first. So on the inhalation, I'm going to have you extend your arms out wide. You're going to slightly bend your right knee, and you're going to bring your left hand down to the in front of your foot or the block, just rotating the spine. Now as you inhale, sweep your right arm forward, maybe even follow it with your gaze. And then exhale, take your fingers, look up, or bring them up towards the ceiling and look up. Now inhale, come back through the center. And then we'll exhale, we'll slightly bend the left knee and bring the right hand down, rotate the spine, and then we'll inhale and reach the left arm forward, maybe looking towards the fingers. As you exhale, reach the left arm up, follow it with your gaze, and then we'll come up through the center, inhale. And we're just gonna repeat that. Going down this time to the right side, spiral, inhale, sweep the top arm over the head, look towards the fingers. Exhale, rotate the vertebrae to the left, the arm reaches up, the gaze looks up. Inhale, come back to the top. And we're moving into the left side. Bending left knee, bringing the right hand down, rotating around. On the inhalation, sweep the top arm forward, look forward. And then exhale, sweep the top arm up, look up. Bend left knee, inhale, come back to stand. We're gonna go to this first side and we're gonna stay there. So rotate around to your right side. On the inhalation, let's sweep the arm forward. And then on the exhalation, reach the fingertips back up and we'll hang out here and breathe. So with every inhale, still see if you can feel that little bit of space in the middle of your back. And then as you exhale, contract from your pubic bone to your navel and track your navel towards the right to see if you can get a little bit more rotation through your spine. There should be a nice little ebb and flow, a little bit of movement that happens as you breathe in and out. Good, and we'll come back up on the next inhalation. So strengthen your right leg, inhale to come back up, and we'll go down to the left side for the final hold here. On the inhalation, sweep the left arm forward. Exhale, rotate around to look up towards the fingers, and we'll stay here in that position and breathing again, just in and out. You may notice that you have more rotation in one side than the other. So it would be okay if one side you used blocks, but the other side you didn't necessarily need it. See if you can tune into the breath. Long, slow exhales. And then on the next inhalation, we'll come back up to stand. And on the exhalation, just lower the arms down. Good. We're going to stay with our feet in this position as we're going to come forward into a forward bend. So if you know you need blocks, you can bring them this time towards the center. We're going to be doing some spinal lifts here to again encourage a little bit more extension of the spine. So take an inhalation in this position, and then as you exhale, we'll just come down and bring the hands directly underneath the shoulders. Now on your next inhalation, I'm going to have you bend your knees, lift to the tips of your fingers, and lift your spine until it's parallel to the ground. Keep your chin slightly tucked in. Exhale, straighten your legs as much as your hamstring will allow, round your spine, relax your head and neck. And we're going to do that again. Bend your knees, inhale, lengthen your spine. You can even kind of pull back the fingertips, which will bring the breastbone further forward. And then again, exhale, straighten the legs, rounding the spine, relaxing the head and neck. Two more like that. Bend the knees, inhale, lift the spine, lengthen through the back of the neck. Exhale, contract gently from the pubic bone to the navel, round in the lumbar spine, round in the middle of your back. Let go, head and neck. Last one moving, bend the knees, inhale, lift the spine, and exhale, straighten the legs as much as you can, and then we'll hang out here in our forward bend position. So taking nice long inhales and nice long exhales. Good. So, Mary, because I'm not with you, I'm not sure if there's a reason, but your arms are pretty far out. And if you
I made an adaptation for glaucoma.
Beautiful. Thank you. That's awesome.
So it's kind of half downward dog, you know, so
Good, good, good.
on blocks.
All right. Good. And then on our next inhalation, we'll come back up to stand. You can do that with a little slight bend in your knees. Make sure that once you arrive in your standing position, you're not dizzy. You can slightly bend your knees there. Good. And I'll have you go ahead and come to the top of your mat with the feet hips width distance. And we're going to work our way back down into a kneeling position, and we'll do that through a downward facing dog. So on the inhalation, let's raise the arms up. And as you exhale, forward bend. Any arm position is fine. I'm going to have you go ahead and step your feet back into a downward facing dog. And we're going to stay here in down dog, as down dog is actually an extension of the spine. So if your spine is rounded, like maybe your shoulders are pressing over your hands, I'd like you to bend your knees a little bit and then press your torso back towards your thighs so you get a little bit more length of your spine. You can relax your head and neck a little bit more. And then I want you to work the aspect of extension. So as you inhale, feel your chest expand, feel the middle of your back lengthen, press into your hands. And then as you exhale, contract gently from your pubic bone to your navel, but simultaneously reach up through your sit bones. And just see how much length you can get through the entire spine. And on our next inhalation, we'll come down to hands and knees. And we're going to move into a kneeling lunge. So you can step your right foot forward. And if you need padding for the knee that's on the ground, you can bring your blanket underneath the knee, or you could even fold the mat, whatever works best. And we're actually just keeping hands on the right thigh. We're really just working a little bit of kind of front body opening here. So make sure when you look down that you can still see your right toes. When you come forward, you don't want your knee to extend past your ankle. So I often have to start with my shin bone really pretty further forward than my knee. So just check in on that as you move in and out, okay? So on our inhalation, we'll shift the hips forward, feel the chest expand, try to draw your shoulder blades together, and then exhale and just come right back into the starting position. And we're going to do that again. So we'll inhale, shift the hips forward, press into the top of your left foot. Feel that activation, and then exhale, contract from your pubic bone to your navel, and pull yourself back slowly. One more time. Inhale, shift the hips forward, expand the chest, lengthen up to the back of your neck and head. Exhale, contract from the pubic bone to the navel, and pull back. We're going to go in and we're going to stay in. So inhale, come forward into the lunge, and then stay as you exhale. When you're staying here, you can really work this opening through your left front, the front of your left hip, with the exhalation. So as you exhale, if you contract from the pubic bone to the navel, you'll feel that activation in the front of your left hip. Press into the top of your left foot. And if you wanted a little bit more, you could even reach up through your left arm and just feel the position from the top of your left foot all the way up into the tips of your left fingers. Good, yeah. And as you breathe, allow breath to drop in and down and feel that expansion. Nice, and then next exhale, we'll come out of the pose. Good, maybe you wibble wobble out. And then we'll go to second side. Good. So this time the left foot is forward. And again, check in on how far you need your left foot in front of your knee to move in and out. You can. Does that feel better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Just tightness in your hips.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So hands will start on the thighs. And on your inhalation, we'll shift the hips forward, expand the chest. And on the exhalation, we'll just pull the hip right back in line with the right knee. Two more. Inhale, shift forward, expand the chest, lift the chin slightly, and then exhale and pull back, contracting from pubic bone to navel. One more time, in and out. Inhale, chest expand, shoulder blades squeeze. And exhale, come on out. We'll go in and we'll stay in on the next one. So inhale, Shift the hips forward. Stay there. Exhale, contract from the pubic bone to the navel. Press into the top of your right foot. As you inhale, feel your chest expand, almost as you're kind of lifting your lower ribs away from your hips. And then if you want, you can take the right arm and just lift up through your right arm. Remember, no clenching in the jaw, relaxing through the neck. Nice. And then on our next exhalation, we'll come out of the pose. Both knees on the mat, hands under the shoulders. My favorite all-time move, mobility in our spine, stretching our hips, Chakravakasana. So on the inhalation, lift your chin, and then on your exhalation, bend your elbows as you round your spine and drop all the way back into your child's pose. Inhale, come back to hands and knees. Expand the chest. And exhale, contract gently, pubic bone to navel. Bend your elbows, round your spine, drop all the way back. Take 4 more, and just move with your breath. This is our last one here. So inhale the hands and knees, last time, chest expands, chin slightly lifts. Exhale, round the spine, and I'll have you pause in the forward bend position and just sense your breath, changing the shape of your body. And in this position, you can really work to feel the back of your body expand. So maybe the next breath, see if you can create space between your shoulder blades. And then move down a little bit more, see if you can feel the back of your rib cage expand. And then even further down, feel the lower back, the side waist expand as you inhale. Good. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and come out of the pose and we'll come down onto our backs. So we'll be lying down on our back with our knees bent. Good. I'll have you pick your feet up off the ground. The knees will come in towards the chest. And we're going to be raising one arm up while simultaneously pressing up through the opposite foot, extending the leg. So that's going to be our movement. So everybody take a breath in with no movement and a breath out. On your next inhalation, I'll have you raise your right arm up until the back of the hand touches the floor. Simultaneously extend up through your left leg, reaching your heel up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, bend your left knee, lower your right arm. We'll switch to the other side. Inhale, raise your left arm up and extend up through your right leg. Your leg may not get straight, that's okay. You can have your knee bent. And then as you exhale, lower the left arm and bend your right knee. Maybe one more on each side. Inhale, raise the right arm, reach up through your left heel. And slow exhale, lower the arm and bend the knee. Inhale, raise your left arm, extend up through your right heel. And exhale, lower the left arm, bend the right knee. We're going to do symmetrical. Inhale, raise both arms up and extend up through both legs. This is not core exercise, so keeping your knees in line with your hips is great. Exhale, and bend the knees, lower the arms. We're going to stay up on the next one. So inhale, raise the arms and raise the feet. Stay here as you exhale. Contract from your pubic bone to your navel. Feel that kind of draw your lower back down towards the ground. When you inhale, extend up through the middle of your back. So again, we're just kind of working this aspect of extending the spine. We'll take a few breaths, and each time you're trying to take the curves out of the spine, which is actually a lot of work. Your hamstrings are tight, your knees will be bent, but you'll still be super active. And then on your next exhalation, we'll lower the arms, we'll bend the knees. You can just hug your knees into your chest. And then I'll have you go ahead and roll through your side, and we'll come up into seated for a spinal twist. So Chris, you may want just you don't want your full setup, but maybe just one blanket to lift the hips. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna bend the right knee, and we'll keep the left leg extended. We're gonna take the left hand, we'll wrap around the right knee, and we'll take the right fingers and just drop them right behind the sit bone. If the fingertips don't reach, you can always take a block and bring a block behind you, and that'll give you a little bit more lift, just like it did when we were in the standing twist. Like you may notice, wow, I have so much more space to rotate my spine if I give myself a little lift. So don't be afraid to use, props. So here, on your inhalation, I'd like you just to drop into your sit bones. So just breathe in and down, feel your sit bones, keep them firmly rooted. And then on your exhalation, contract from your pubic bone to your navel and rotate your spine to the right. You can look all the way around over the shoulder. And then unwind just a little bit on the inhale. So it's as if the right rib cage kind of just lifts away from the hip a little bit. And then as you exhale, contract again from the pubic bone to the navel and rotate the vertebrae to the right. And then stay a little bit longer in the depth of your twist and just breathe here. There's still this slight and subtle movement that happens. And then this is one of my favorites for head, neck, and shoulders. If you'll turn your head back to the center, keep your spine rotated to the right, but turn your head back to the center. And then you can play around with like dropping the ear towards the shoulder, dropping the chin towards the chest. You're gonna find a sweet spot, or I find a sweet spot. I'm not sure it's sweet, sometimes it screams, but there's some spots that you can access here if you'll simply just play with the relationship between your head, your neck, and your shoulders. Good, and then releasing here, we'll unwind and we'll switch sides. So I'll have you extend right leg out and then the left knee. You're gonna take the right hand, wrap it around. Good. If wrapping doesn't work, I know there's only, you can also just hold on to it, but there's always another way. And don't be afraid to take the other way, because there's really no right way, there's just a way, as long as you're breathing. All right, so we'll inhale, and as you inhale, feel the breath drop in and down and drop into your sit bones. And as you exhale, rotate the spine, this time to the left. And just notice, like, wow, is this side stickier than the other one? Or do I have way more rotation on this side? And then we'll play with the breath a little bit. So on your inhalation, unwind a little bit. Feel your left rib cage kind of lift up and away from the hip. And then exhale, contract again from the pubic bone to the navel and track your navel to the left and see if you can find a little bit more rotation in the spine. And then you'll stay in the depth of your twist, but still having enough mobility in the body to receive inhale and exhale. No tensing. And then keeping your torso turned, I'll have you inhale and bring your head back to the center. And then same thing on this side. Just kind of play with the relationship between your head, your neck, and your shoulders. So you can kind of draw your left shoulder away from your left ear as you play around with where your chin is going, or where your right ear is going. Good, and then we'll unwind completely. Nice. We'll stay in our seated position, extend the legs. Notice, have you shifted at all? I typically, don't practice with everybody, but when I do, like because of this interaction, I can sense my energy shifting too. All right, so we can always have a slight bend in the knees for this one. There's no prize for straight legs, and in fact, if you're super flexible, bent knees is actually where you're going to get a little bit more of the primary intention of forward bend, which is to stretch our lumbar spine first, then above and below is secondary. So you have to play with it. Again, like maybe you are straight legs, that's fine if you are. Maybe you are bent knees, doesn't matter. Just see where you can get the most sensation dispersed across the most parts of your body. So not working too hard in any one area. So for me, it's knees bent. I'm gonna have you on your inhalation, just raise your arms up. Feel your lower rib cage lift away from your hips. As you exhale, contract from your pubic bone to your navel and try to bring your navel towards your thighs. Keep your arms alongside your ears. And then inhale and chest lifts first. Come all the way back up. Notice how much strength that takes in the back to lift you up. We're going to repeat it. Exhale, contract from your pubic bone to your navel. You'll feel that rounding in your lower back, and then try to bring the chest down towards the thighs. Good. We're going to do one more. Inhale, lift the chest. Feel the strength. And then this time we're going to stay down, but we're going to extend the spine. So exhale into the forward bend, clasp onto something. It can be shin bones, it can be ankles, it can be feet. And then on your next inhalation, I'm going to have you straighten your arms by lifting your chest away from your thighs. Yeah, so we get this nice, again, extension through the spine. So breathe here, and as you inhale, feel the middle of your back lengthen, the crown of your head extend upward. It's really a lot of work. Exhale, contract from your pubic bone to your navel and feel that work. So see how you can grow the length of your spine. Super good for scoliosis. And your next exhale, fold, completely release, let go. And then take advantage of the back of your body being expanded here. And again, try to breathe. Breathe in between the shoulder blades and feel your breath expanding the space between the shoulder blades. And breathe into the middle of your back. Allow tension to release from the muscles between the ribs and the back of your body. Breathe all the way down into your lower back. And then on your next inhalation, you'll come back up into seated. And I'll have you go ahead and find your comfortable seat, the one that you started with in the beginning of class. And we're going to orient ourselves to a little bit of central channel breath work here. So once you've arrived in your comfortable seat, eyes can close. I'll have you take your awareness into the top of your head, and the space between your brow, center of your throat, center of your chest, around the navel, just above the pubic bone, down to the center of the pelvic floor. We'll go up the back of the body, and I'll have you observe the space between the back of your body point and the front of the body. So bringing your awareness into your sacrum, and observe the space between your sacrum and the pubic bone. Awareness moves upward into your lower back at the level of your navel. Awareness into the middle of your back at the level of your breastbone. Awareness in the back of the neck at the level of your throat. Awareness into the back of your head at the level of the space between your brow. And awareness back into the top of your head. So orient yourself to this space that's equal distance between the front of your body and the back of your body, the right side of your body and your left. On your next inhale, inhale from the top of your head all the way in and down to the center of your pelvic floor. And then as you exhale, exhale, sensing, feeling, seeing, breath move from the center of the pelvic floor back up to the top of your head. And we'll just continue to do that. Breathing in and down from the top of the head to the center of the pelvic floor, and breathing up and out from the pelvic floor to the crown of the head. See it, sense it, or feel it. You lose the awareness, you can softly and subtly just kind of rock your spine a little bit, bring the awareness back to the center of the body. Breath moving in and down on inhale, and up and out on exhale. And relaxing the breath and the awareness of that central place inside of your body. As you turn your attention to noticing how the breath and the movement created any shift, whether it be in the body or the mind, or the level of energy. And then when you're ready, just bringing the awareness back into the room as you open your eyes. And thank you, guys, for being with me and practicing. And I'll see you next time. I hope there was some nuggets in there. Whether they were
Interesting.
Yeah?
Yeah, because you do the top, you do that.
Something to notice.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, I love that breath. Like that is a part of my, practice. And I like to use it with chanting and it's like the outside world can go away for a little while and the inside world becomes rich and, it's like a prepping ground for whatever's next. So,
I loved it. Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome.